Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. Let me ask you this about Tiger Woods. Is he pulling off a bit of a Mike Tyson? And all I mean by that is top of the game. It doesn't seem like anybody in the world can beat this guy. All of a sudden he hits the skids and there was no way back. I mean, who knows what's wrong with Tiger Woods right now?
It's funny, you know, when he missed the cut, I started wondering, geez, you know, and I have a real hate on for Mike Tyson and Tiger Woods of late, and I used to just admire and respect Tiger all the way along up until about 2 months ago when he just shows no respect, no sign of humility through all of this to his fans, to the golf world. He's just still that brash prick, you know. And he, you know, would it kill him for that 1 minute interview after his round to just be a little humble, you know, be gracious, you know, instead of talking about how, you know, he's only in it to win it, and if he can't win it, then it's a waste of time. And well, I hope he never wins again.
I don't disagree with you, Eric. I just want to talk about that point. It's a good point. I think a lot of people agree with you, but he can't change overnight. I agree. I think he's a brash prick too. I don't care for him. Yeah. But I think we're expecting too much for him to change too quickly. I mean, he was brought up differently than most people. Sure. His dad was bizarre on how he brought him up. So I think we're expecting Tiger to change like that and be a nice guy to CBS after being cut. It's not going to happen.
Well, but he claimed he was going to be. Remember his first tournament back, he signed an autograph, I think, for somebody. It was caught on tape. You know, he was shaking hands with people in the gallery. It was just ridiculous. And he opened a Twitter account. He said he was, because it's important that I stay connected with my fans. It was all part of the PR machine, and he hasn't embraced what his advisors have tried to help him do. The saddest thing about the Steve Williams affair is that for one day, Tiger Woods actually looked good by taking the high road on it. That's what pissed me off about it, you know, because he looked good. I never thought he was capable of doing that, but. Anyway, the point is, without Tiger Woods in the picture, I was assuming that this PGA Championship on the weekend, and without any big names on the leaderboard or even close to it, I was worried that it would completely be a bust. I kept a loose eye on it. That was one of the best finishes of a major I've ever seen in my life. One of the best finishes to any golf tournament.
And he's right. So what does that tell us is that we don't need the big names necessarily because, as you know, lefty Phil Mickelson was the only contender in the last couple of rounds.
And Adam Scott, sure,
yeah, okay. And it was one of the best finishes ever in a golf tournament. So maybe we got to stop thinking we need big names to sell. The only people that need big names are sponsors. Because you can still have quality TV play with good players.
That's right. And, sorry, Mike, but the last, you know, I was watching it more just to see which one of these no-names would completely fall off the map, and one of them did early on. Brandon Steele just completely disappeared, as everyone in the world expected. The other two guys did not, and just kept going. Not only was it not a war of attrition like I think a lot of people thought, well, who screws up the least will win it. They were both at each other's throats the entire time. Now, Duffner choked
until
in the end a little bit.
Rounds,
sure, but the way Keegan Bradley went out and stole this tournament was absolutely brilliant, and what I like the most about it is a guy who won the golf tournament was seen smiling earlier in the day. I love that. No, Davis Love, I could go through a list of golfers never being pictured in their life with a smile on their face. Miserable pricks. I want someone with color. I want, not those colors, that's awful. I want someone with personality. I want someone who's going to show up, smile like a real human being does when they make a 30-footer. Hell, I smile like hell when I make a 6-footer or a 3-footer. It happened twice yesterday. You know, like, so the point is, the good guy finally won, and I like to see that.
Okay, they're wrapping us up, Eric. Okay, quick.
Tyson, I don't understand this comparison, though.
Well, all I'm saying
is that he'll never bring it back up again like
never.
Tyson?
Time for the world just kind of slid, hit a scandal or two here and there, and then all of a sudden, he's never the same.
Right.
His career is never the same. That's
He'll
the point
never break Jack Nicklaus's record. That much is for sure now.
Okay, let's move on to the story that never ends. And out of Montreal, the police say they have now handed over their investigation into Chara's hit on Max Pacioretty to the prosecutors. And it was interesting to say now they'll leave it up to the prosecutors to decide if they want to lay charges against this guy. Then there was I laugh at this. There was a lawyer that they quoted out of Montreal named Jean-Pierre Rancourt who says they should charge him, and I would lay charges of assault with a bodily harm on this guy. Pepe Le Pew, do you think you're a little biased with a name like Jean-Pierre Rancourt? Yes, you're from Montreal. Yes, you want to see this thing go further than it should. It should have been thrown out a long time ago, but it keeps going on. Why?
Because it's Montreal, because it's the Canadiens, and I think there's probably some leverage for somebody like him if they can get charges, laid against this guy. I think it's going to fall. I mean, somebody's keeping it alive in Montreal. I don't think it's going to go much further. I'd be shocked if it does. I don't even pay attention to it anymore.
No, the only reason it keeps going on is because guys like Peach over here keep talking about it. I have nothing to say about it because it's so ridiculous.
Well, that's the point I'm making. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not giving it any
TSN
more
ran
airtime.
stories about it. It's alive in the media. And
in Montreal, Mike, I don't think it is anywhere else.
National Grant?
They're talking about it?
TSN's national now?
Yeah, it is national.
Can you get it on cable?
You can. And which is my next point.
I got to get cable this year. We're getting cable.
I liked you, but it's expensive.
You can afford it. Tired of going to redneck barbecues? Well, you better call Rocky Mountain Barbecue. Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. Great tasting food, clean and efficient service. Check us out online or call Rocky Mountain Barbecue.